Okay. 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 Alrighty then. Okay. Well, back. Again, talking more Clippers basketball. And essentially this is kind of to the Clippers fan base, really. Um, don't know if this video will get spread around much, likely, but hey, um, you know, regardless, I like the fact that we have a very interesting fan base, I guess you can say. Um, and that was the standpoint of the fact that, after yesterday's loss to the Bucks, if you're a Clipper fan and you follow most Clipper, Twitter accounts, man, were people blowing up in Clipper Nation. Fans talking about we need to trade for a point guard, fans talking about this and that, overreacting to a loss that is essentially in March. It was the last day of February, but yeah. Listen, even in my video, I was a little bit heated, but I would say in my video, even though I was heated, I did point out some facts to the fact that, why the reasons why we lost. And I said in my video, the reason why we lost against the Bucks is we got too ISO, ball heavy. We settled for jump shots way too much. And definitely that's one thing that's going to have to change going forward for this team to get to where it wants to get to, because eventually, so far, it's definitely, you know, it's definitely going to definitely help in the long run if the team plays well and stuff like that. And listen, we're all fans, man, and I very much enjoyed it. Um, and listen, I enjoy the ride, and there are times where we lose ourselves. Things happen. And funny enough, the reason why I'm mostly making this video is credited to a Clippers Twitter person who I follow named Bleak Griffin at T Bleak, who he just made, as of Monday, made a blog post talking about obviously the loss and how he thought his views on what everything he was seeing. And listen, he said it in his blog, yes, this team is flawed, its roster can be flawed, but it's not like every other team has a flaw. And he made a good mention, like, listen, yeah, we lost two Sunday marquee matchups, teams against really good teams, the Nets and the Bucks. But you want to know this one thing? I think I even said in my Nets game recap, as much as that freaking loss sucked and how much I feel like we got screwed over by the refs, I said, for that Clipper team to have like 16 turnovers, play that terrible, which was one of their worst games ever I've seen this year, and still almost come out and beat the Brooklyn Nets, that goes to show you that this team this team's resolve is different. They keep fighting, unlike last year's team that would have kind of laid over and just let things happen and stuff like that. And again, the Clippers were playing good up until that 4-minute mark in the game with the Bucks, and they essentially went cold and scoreless, and they went to that iso ball stuff. Listen, the one thing I always saw, the one thing I did see on the TL, yesterday was, oh, we need to trade for a point guard now. We need to trade Zoo, Lou. We need to trade Pat. We need to trade for a point guard. And personally, I'm of the belief, and if you're a Clipper fan and you feel otherwise, listen, you're entitled to your own opinions, and I'm going to respect your opinions, regardless. If you feel like this team needs a trade, I'll be like, okay, yes. I will respectfully disagree. I don't say, listen, I'm open to a trade, but if we take a step back and we look back, and it's like, does this team really need to make a trade? And personally, I'm of the belief that this team doesn't need to make a trade because this team is good enough, to get there. We say we need a trade for a point guard to set players up when the entire game We had ball movement. We were moving the ball around. We were getting open shots and stuff like that. And it's like, well, that doesn't mean it doesn't look like we need a point guard because my thing is this. Why trade for a point guard? For example, Kyle Lowry. Why trade for Kyle Lowry when you're going to get rid of all your damn depth for one guy? And it's like, really? I think we're kind of overblowing the little, oh, the Clippers need to trade for a point guard. Because the thing is this, what will the point guard do in this offense that we wouldn't see? Oh, he'll get Kawhi and Paul George to his spot. We don't know that. We don't. We don't know that. What if the point guard just dominates and ISOs the whole thing? And then two, there are not a lot of names on the market in terms of point guards. It's like you either have to make a trade or, whatever's out there in the market, it's what you get. And who else is on the market in free agency? Nobody. So, I refute your point. So it essentially refutes your point. It's like, okay, you want the point guard, but at what cost? It's going to make your team weaker, and you're going to be in the same Brooklyn Nets position. It's like, listen, I said it in my game recap against the Bucks. I felt like what the Clippers did wrong and what the Clippers didn't do was they just didn't execute late in that game. They just didn't. And, if they're not going to execute, well, that chalks up to the reason why the Clippers lost. Yes, does it suck to hear to see your team, to see our team lose, especially in the way they lost, where we should have pulled away and we should have easily won the game. And I guarantee if we hit one or two, maybe three shots, we would have beat the Bucks. But, sometimes the cards don't play right. And again, I'm always looking at it from an optimistic side, and I'm looking at perspective. There's no reason, stuff like that. Listen, I know, heat of the moment, we're going to get all mad, and sometimes we're going to say some takes that are overreactions. And then, guess what? We after, sitting down and having probably, I would say, I guess maybe an hour or two to reflect from the game, you really do take back in perspective and be like, you know what? We really could have did this better. And I think that's what we need to take back and look. Listen, I got mad. I was super heated. But, even when I was, like I said, I was heated in my game recap, I still, at the end of the day, was like pointing out the facts in that video. Like, listen, the Clippers, they predominantly, iso ball. I said that was on the coaching staff. I said that was on the players for not getting the ball moving, not driving to get more free throw attempts. You should have the Clippers should have did that more in the game. There are things the Clippers could have did better in those 4 minutes. And I guarantee you, if the Clippers could go back in time and after those 4 minutes, they'd do something differently. And they'd probably take it to the rim and try to go get fouled, as well as Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. They know they have to be better. They know they have to be better. And I know they're smart players and they have to be better because in these moments where we need them most, they need to be there for us. They need to. If one's not there, I expect the other one to be there and hold each other accountable. Listen. Okay, we lost to the Bucks. Fine, move on. It's another game this whole closing game out situation, this closing game out issue. Yes, it's an issue, but it's something that can be fixed, guys. It is something that can be fixed. Something like as a point guard, finding a point guard on the market, that won't fix your team. I personally think this team just needs to be better with executing in these late stretches in these games because this team is talented enough to go against any team in the league. The problem is they're just not having a good time at closing out games, a good time at executing to finish off a team in these games, especially the good ones. And that's the one thing that's going to be big for the Clippers. Okay, are you going to finish these teams off within the last 4 to 3 minutes to 1 minute seconds of a game? Are you going to go out there and execute the finishing touches to what got you to the position you're in now? And I believe this is something Ty Lue can fix, something the Clippers can fix, something the players can fix, and take a little bit more ownership on themselves, saying, listen, we need to execute better down the stretch, and we need to do a better job. I know Clippers history has been turmoiled by so many things that, what went wrong went wrong. We saw it last year. But hey, you know, this team can rebound. This team will find a way to get back. We got a game against Boston. Again, I'm going to give my recap for Boston. And then we got another game against, Washington, before the All-Star game. And listen, we're at the midway part of the season. We're going to be fine, guys. Something that is so easily fixable is going to be so much more better. And we're just going to see. Well, if we're put in the same situation against the Celtics, this upcoming, or really tomorrow, we're going to see. Will the Clippers learn from their mistakes? Will they be able to close out this game if they have a lead against the Boston Celtics late in the game, and stuff like that. So that's going to be something interesting to watch, and I definitely can't wait to see. But that's kind of my video on what I wanted to get out. Again, check out Bleak Griffin's post. I'll probably try to see if I can put it in the description if you want to check out his blog. I really did read his blog post, and it was actually a really good post, and it actually did take me back and I'm like, you know what, he's right. I think some Clipper fans were kind of overreacting to the heat of the moment. Like I was not joking. Like Clipper fans were going at other Clipper fans and stuff like that, because you had some Clipper fans saying, listen, we're fine. It's just one game. And then, like I said, it's one game. I even said in a tweet, we're like, come on, guys. This isn't May in the playoffs. This is the end of February, essentially March, midway point of the season. Guys, it's just one loss. And yes, it was a bad loss. The Clippers had no business losing, but it's not something where, oh, we need to trade half the team because it's not working out for us. It's okay. Listen, this team will definitely rebound. We've seen them rebound. And yeah, I think they can come back, play in Boston in a tough game, and get the W against, Boston. But other than that, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. So till then, guys, I'm gonna see you guys on the next Clipper video, which is gonna be Tuesday. Until then, guys, hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day. Hit that like button. Put it in the comment section. Your thoughts. Are you now not as mad after the Bucks loss and stuff like that? Hit that subscribe button to get more Clippers content. Until then, guys, I'll see you guys on the next video. Till then, guys, peace.